What's up, good people? Welcome back to Four Titles, One Truth. It's your boy, Tommy.
And I'm Lance. And today we're getting into something that we have heard people mention, but never really talked about. Politics and friendships.
Yeah, this is an emotional subject. Politics and religion.
Yep.
I was taught that when I was little.
Yep.
But some friendships don't survive election season. So the question we're asking is, can people who see the world so differently actually be friends?
That's a good question. All right, let's get into it. So, has a political disagreement ever changed a friendship for you?
Yes.
Okay. That was easy.
Let me expand my answer. It's this election specifically.
Okay.
Right? The first time that Trump was elected, I was of the ilk of, let's see, because where we were and who was running against him, I didn't see a leader anywhere. But I didn't vote for Trump. But I actually voted for Clinton.
Okay.
But he got elected, and I was like, well, let's see, right? Because I was being hopeful. I'll be honest. And I was still serving in the military.
Okay.
Right. I was actually a sergeant major at the time, and or in the school at the academy, and we saw how that went.
Yes, we did.
It went from give it a chance to oh my gosh to oh my gosh, January 6th. That's all I need to say. Well, no, because then he didn't show up at the inauguration. That was everything I knew, because as a senior leader in the United States Army, being a professional is something that is beat into you. And then once you achieve those ranks, you understand why. Because once you are no longer professional, you can no longer have conversations.
Nope.
You can no longer defend your soldiers. You can no longer defend your orders. You know, there's so much that you lose when you're unprofessional.
Lose all your respect. You lose any respect.
Absolutely.
That you may have gained.
And so January 6th and him not showing at the inauguration, that completely ended any idea that he was worthy of the position. The re-election comes, and it's the last year of Biden's term where my friendships were tested. And it got tested initially when Black Lives Matter first stood up. And I understood the intention of Black Lives Matter. It was not a we are better than you. It was not forget everybody else. We're the only ones that matter. It was a plea.
Yeah, I mean, just for people to see and look at how
and remember.
Yeah, how Black lives were being taken at a higher rate, and we're not a high rate in the population. Yeah, I mean, we're not.
Yeah. And it was, I acknowledge that plea because I can directly relate to the police violence, because I've had a police weapon drawn on me as an 18-year-old at a gas station. All right. So I've been pulled over when everybody else on the highway was doing way higher speeds or driving more reckless than I have.
Fit the description.
And then when I get pulled over, they look and then maybe determine I'm in the military, and then they even look down on me more because they come back with, well, you should know, being in the military, because I served as well, that following the rules is, and that is, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Black Lives Matter, I understood the call for help. That's what it meant. Black Lives Matter, a call for help. So I understood that, but it ended up being a us versus them. And now you have Blue Lives Matter, you have the comeback of White Lives Matter, and then you had all lives matter. And I'm just like, how do you take that plea for help and turn it into a battle against it, right? And I can admit this, that the Black Lives Matters organization, did not continue and push like they should have, meaning there were corrupt people. And guess what? There's corrupt people in every race, right? And there's corrupt people in politics. There's corrupt people in your neighborhood. There's corrupt people in your school. So some bad seeds had a great intent, but they completely fumbled the ball on that one, right? And so all they did was add fuel to it. So all of that to say this, I never had an issue with any of my friends face to face, except one.
Okay.
And he was a black man. And trying to have a civil conversation to where we were boys and we are having drinks and cigars in the back of their house, just chilling, talking, and politics comes up and it becomes Democrat versus Republican. And the problem is I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I vote based off of what is best for me, my family, and the country, because I served the country for 30 years.
Well, I mean, but even if it is Democrat or Republican, we should be able to deal with. Because that's what we have been dealing with for as long as I've been able to vote, follow and understand and care about the political situation and arena. It's just been these last
few years.
Last 8 years or so.
More than a few.
That it's just been just ridiculous. I mean, it's just been
gone
blatant
to the
and
point,
just ridiculous.
And disrespectful.
Yes.
And so the friendships, I can handle the face-to-face, the verbal, because I can at least read your reactions and see what I believe you really believe,
right?
And versus the stuff you're just saying. And I can see your face when I'm telling you facts and I'm showing you facts on the phone. And then I see your head with the gears turning. So that's a conversation. Even if we're arguing, it's a conversation. But when you take it to the social media platforms and you're saying things that, okay, let me say this. My friends, the people that I truly call friends, know me, right? They know personal things about me. They've known how I pushed for 30 years to be successful in the military. They see my family, they see my wife, they see my children, they meet my parents, so these people are like brothers and sisters to me. And so when I see some of the stuff they post or some of the stuff that they share, I'm like, how could they possibly know me? How could they if they're my friend,
to send it to me to
see it, post it so I can see it. I'm a black man. I'm a black man born from black parents, right? And so I've lived in this world as a black man. I've served my country as a black man. Look at the title of our podcast, right? So we are aware of who we are, and we stand on it, right? And so friends, whether they're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, knowing me and still are willing to post that stuff, how can I not take it as that's what they believe?
Take it personal, yeah.
And forget me? Yeah, how can you not take that personal?
Yep.
So that's how political disagreements have affected me. How about you?
I mean, pretty much the same way. I don't. I've never been. I mean, I have Facebook and I have a lot of the sites, but I'm not on them like that. A lot of stuff, Audra will come back and Tim say, "Did you see what such and such posted?" I'm like, "No." So I go and I look and I'll be like, "What in the?" I mean, and these are folks who some folks that we went to school with, went to college with, Howard University, HU, So we have, and that really is like, I don't get,
Yeah, how do you?
When I see some of the things that other black folks will post that went to school, and it's like we were at the same place. How can this even be
who you ended
a
up
possibility?
being?
Yeah, of how you're thinking or how you could follow somebody. Yeah. That was like that because I think that we've always had political disagreements.
Absolutely.
I mean, always had because I mean I'm not a hardcore Democrat, not a hardcore Republican. I'm somewhere in the middle, probably lean a little more towards Democratic type of politics sometimes, depending on what it is and what it's dealing with. But so we've always have had, that type of disagreement. I think some of the problem, I don't call it a problem, but some of the things with us is that we were in the military for 30 years, 29 years, and we didn't talk about it.
Right.
Unless we were,
side.
Unless we were, in the backyard at a barbecue, or you would talk about it that way. And even when we did talk about it, it was never to the extent of some of the things that are going on now, where it's like you're trying to take rights from me, you're trying to put me back to being a second-class citizen. Those that's my feeling. Is probably, I'm sure, is Tommy's feeling, is like you're not demoting me back. You're not demoting my humanity back because you're not comfortable with something.
Yeah.
So
generations.
So yes, I mean, some folks that that you see and it's like, well, I don't have to. Yeah. I'm not worried about that, and not worrying about that anymore. And some people, it's surprised. I mean, I've been surprised with where it's like, I would never thought that would, how they even felt like that. I mean, they thought like that or felt like that because it never came across. I mean, and that's a scary, to me, that's a scary thing because it's like, Jesus Christ, I'm sitting there, been cool, had this person over. Just like, and you feel that way, so it's the same. Yes. So yes, has it changed friendship? Yes.
Yeah. And I'll also say this. It's not the face-to-face thing, and it's not just the posting. What has caused the divide with friendship, I'm talking separating friends, is it's Facebook. I almost got overwhelmed. And so I had to step away from Facebook so that I wouldn't take it personally because of all of the stuff. I don't care if bots post stuff, people I don't know, or recommendations of people who I should follow. If that's what they're saying, it don't matter. But when I acknowledge you as brother, when I ask you about your family, when you have reached out to me to ask if I'm okay or to give me congratulations or something, that's a bond that we have. And to have and to see that on the social platforms, that this person, this guy that I was in the dirt with, right, as now is telling me that black lives don't matter, or like you said, just degrading who I am as a person.
And that's the thing that probably hurts more. And folks that are been in the military should understand this, is that I don't care if the person was white. I mean, white next to me, or what, we deployed together. I mean, we were there. You know, we were there. You knew me. I talked to you. You know, we talked about everything. So how can some of these things that are going around, how can that be okay with you? How is that? Why does that sound?
How can we be
sensible?
So far apart?
Yes.
We've stood on the same ground where blood from other brothers and sisters were spilt, and we are somewhere. So, anyway,
I mean, because I understand if it's a true political politics, thing. I understand. It's like, okay, that makes sense, but some of this stuff is just like it's trying to put other folks down. It's trying to put other folks down
and raise one group up.
Yep.
So why do you think politics has become such a personal thing for people? And like you said before, I know that you believe that politics is all. We believe that politics and religion are always gas cans waiting to explode, right? So why do you think politics has become such a personal thing?
It's a fear. I think for some reason you have folks that are either afraid, or you have folks that don't. Especially when you have folks of the same race that are supporting some of the crazy stuff that's going on now. You have folks that are trying to keep others down, don't want to help others. I mean, so it's jealousy. I mean, it's probably a lot of things that shouldn't be put into. I mean, shouldn't play a part in the politics piece. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, and I don't understand. I don't understand how people can be so passionate about and want to take a stance on some of the things that are going on, and still call themselves a good person.
Americans.
And I'm American.
Good people,
So I don't.
Christian.
And Christian, yes. I mean, because it's like religion shouldn't be in the how we're determining, because we have a lot of different religions. We don't have just one religion. We're not a religious state.
Well, I'll just say this. I was raised in a Christian church, and what I see some of these people doing is not what I was raised in, first off. Secondly, the thing I'll say is we can't be what we were when the Constitution was written. We can't. That's impossible, because so much life has been lived since then that we are literally not the same people, no matter how much you try. Did George Washington have a cell phone? Mm-mm. So how can you tell me that we need to completely change rules from follow rules from 18 something without any type of sensible evolution?
Well, then a lot of those folks were British, starting off with that. Were writing all those. I mean, they weren't.
They're not us today.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
They were British descendants, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Guess what? They were slave owners. Mm-hmm. You know, there was nobody that was super clean back then, just like there's nobody that's super clean now. So anyway, why do I think politics has become such a personal thing for people? I agree with you with the fear thing, and fear mongering is a real thing, to where people who will not accept facts are scary people.
Yep.
On both sides. And I think we're at a place now where You have Democrats that are so far left, it doesn't make sense. And then you obviously have Republicans that are so far right, it doesn't make sense.
It's like it's no common sense.
And they're staying on that outer band of ridiculousness and trying to drastically change thought processes by being so far on whichever side they're on that it doesn't even make sense. You know, like, and I'll just talk about, I believe that everybody should be treated equally. I do believe that. That's something that I've personally fought for. So my son and my daughter don't have to go through the stuff I had to go through.
Yep.
And I know that's what my dad and my mom did for me. Okay. I also believe that being an American means something, right? And to be an American, there are steps you should follow. And I think that those steps should be clear, and I think those steps should be followed.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it should be attainable. I mean,
Absolutely.
it shouldn't be as easy as going, hey, I want to be able to.
Yeah, it shouldn't
but
be-
it has to be attainable so that people have to work for it. I understand. Yeah, they need to work for it because it's not. Yeah,
Right?
it's not free.
And then I also believe that if you are here illegally and you are honestly a criminal, because it's been proven you're a criminal, not just people say it, but you are here illegally because you've been caught selling drugs,
Yeah, you've been
killing
caught doing
people,
dirt.
whatever, and it's been proven that's what you're doing, then you should absolutely be gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nothing that I said can be accomplished with a blanket thrown over it. Nothing. Because those are such unique problems that they have to have unique solutions. They have to have specific solutions on either side. And I just don't. And I think that people are taking it so personal is because the people who are standing on the outer limits of those left and right parties has a voice. And the voice is being heard, and people are just, like, for instance, some of the people that we see that are in Congress, we know they make no sense, but somebody elected them.
That's what I was about to say. It's like they were elected by the people of their state, of their district, or whatever, their city or whatever, and they're the ones that we said, yep, we want you to speak for us because
you're the best.
Yeah, you're the best,
us.
and you understand and know what we need and what we were saying we want and need. So,
and so I think a combination of the fear and the extremists have gotten such a voice and such a following that people aren't like, don't tread on me, stuff like that. All right. How is that a flag that you can be proud to fly when it was born in separation?
Yeah, and war.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, are we going to war against other Americans?
And how can you fly the flag of the United States of America and know that Africans were brought here and used for the country to gain wealth, and were not seen or treated as people? And now their descendants have become Americans. We have no connection to Africa. We have no tribal dances that we mimic because our ancestors did that. We don't speak their language of our ancestors. We don't have the customs of our ancestors in the United States? Because it was beaten out of us. We were beaten so that we could be less than Americans. Then we were given rights as Americans. And of all the people on this planet, you're telling me that we don't deserve to be equal for the madness we went through? And we can throw the Chinese in there. They were treated just as badly in times. We can throw the Irish in there.
The Japanese.
They were treated just like black people in the beginning.
Yep.
We can throw the Italians in it. We can throw all of these races in there because at some point they were treated like they were dogs.
They were less. They're treated as they were less than. I mean, that's.
And now the same people who were treated that way want black history and black contribution, not African history and African contributions, black history, because you beat it out of us. And now you've elected people that want, friends of mine have elected people that want to erase not my connection to Africa, they want to erase my American connection.
It's history. It's American history, American history facts of all of the contributions and innovations and things that have been made by blacks and other races too. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, because it's like they want to follow a fantasy book that shows all of this stuff and rainbows and I mean, just everything is rosy and
so I that was a rant, absolutely, but that's why politics is personal to me. I've talked about my belief on why politics is personal to the Trump supporters and Trump specifically, and I see holes in the Trump supporters and the Trump believers. I see holes in their logic. I see holes in their unadulterated, what do you call it? Unadulterated
with the support.
Yeah, the fanatic devotion.
Yeah.
Their unadulterated devotion to Trump. I see holes in there. Please tell me how you see holes in what my rant just said. And that's why it's personal, and that's why it gets so much energy from me, is because you're trying to erase my history that you already beat the history out of my ancestors. Think about that. You're trying to erase the history that I was raised under, the history that my grandfather, my dad, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, the history that they participated in because my great-great-grandfather was brought here as a child and forced to do something that he would not wake up in the morning and do in Africa. And then if he refused to do it or failed to do it to the standard that the slave master thought, they beat it out of him. They beat the African out of him. They beat the rebellion out. They tried to beat the rebellion out of him. The only thing they couldn't do was beat the color out of him. And so we became American because we lost the connection to Africa. And then my great-great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, to include the woman's side of it. I'm not disregarding my great-great-grandmother, great-grandmother, and so forth. I'm just saying that for a fact, they were on this continent and they were participating, whether they wanted to or not, into the construction of the United States. And for centuries have participated in the excellence of the United States. And now you want to delete them from history? I don't understand that. I please poke holes in that. I'm done.
I hear you.
It's hard to say all that stuff without cussing.
It's difficult. You did a good job. Oh
my goodness.
Hey, I'm gonna have you talk some more too. Hey, do you believe most friendships can survive political differences? Why or why not?
I believe friendships can survive anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I believe relationships, as far as marriages and girlfriend, boyfriend, or what have you. But you have to talk to each other. You can't post that stuff and be my friend and not be willing to have a conversation.
Right.
That's my thing. And if you're not willing to have a conversation, then we're not friends. That's all I'm saying.
No. Yep.
I'm not telling you, if I'm your friend and you've accepted my friend request and I've accepted yours,
mm-hmm.
and we have real history, and you post something that is blatantly against me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about your opinion on which salt to use, rock salt or regular salt or even salt from the ocean. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a friend of mine posts something that says, Tommy, your life doesn't matter.
Yeah,
or Tommy, if you just admit that the police are in charge, they won't pull a gun on you. They won't try to beat you up. That's a lie.
Yeah.
A lie that I've lived. So if you're not willing to talk to me about it, then no, we can't be friends.
I was going to say, I think that friendships can survive political differences because we did it. We did it before. We've been doing it, did it before. It's just, again, these last 8 years, it's just all of the mean-spirited, the racist rants and the thing, burning the book. I mean, all of the stuff, what you were talking about, trying to erase history and facts and things.
Again.
And then people people backing that. That's what I don't want to deal with a person that's like that. I mean, political differences, I understand. I mean, that's like, okay, that's you like blue, I like orange. We have to come together with something, which way is going to work best or whatever. But all of this mean-spirited, lying, trying to take us back to a place where it's like, we're not going back. I mean, we're not doing that, we're not doing that again, because it's not, and again, it's not everyone, because I don't want folks to think that this is a beat up against white folks, because it's black folks out there and Hispanic folks out there that are backing this person, which I don't understand. It's like, these folks don't care. I mean, if you don't have in the same, bank account number, digit number that these guys are in, you're not, or if you can't help them make any more money or anything, or then they don't want to have anything to do. They don't have your best interest at heart, unfortunately. So that's the piece where I'm like, I don't get it, because you look like me. If something went down where they were trying to get rid of, they're not going to keep you. And if they did keep you, they're not going to try to lift you up and give you a prominent position, because you can see that with all of the ones that were in Congress that were supporting.
That were laying down their lives.
Yeah, I mean, and what jobs do they? I mean, they're not.
They're still in Congress.
Yeah, so.
That's it.
But yeah, so I mean, absolutely, I think that they you can, because I still have friends now that I have friends that are Republican, but they're not MAGA Republicans. So I mean, and that's
we've gotten along with me. I have friends that are different religions.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be the other gaslighter, right?
Yep.
But we have thousands of conversations around other topics, and we're good. And if we ever talk religion, it comes from a comedy thing, where I'll say, well, hey, in my church, we dance a lot,
That's
you
right.
know, and then another church may not, whatever. I mean, it's something like that. But in politics, you're trying to erase.
Well, when they're using it in politics, they're using it as a weapon, which is not. I mean, all of the religions are different, but the same message is being a good person and looking at everybody as being equal and loving everybody, not just one specific race or one gender. Because you have a lot of that stuff going on now, where it's just the male dominated, male run. I mean, so
it's different. Mm-hmm. All right. How do you balance staying true to your beliefs without pushing people away?
Well, I mean, some stuff is because I had good practice at it during my career, where we didn't talk about, didn't talk about it. You hear it and it's like, okay. But, it's just recently where stuff is being said or stuff is coming out where it's like, are you not, where you have to like, you feel obligated to go, hey, nah, we're not doing that. That's not going on. We're not doing that today. That's not the answer. But before, it's like a lot of stuff you hear stuff and be like, okay, yeah, you crazy, whatever. Let's keep on rolling. But again, the stuff that's going on now is just so mean and hurtful and it's just the fact of someone trying to put you down. And it's like, I worked, not just me, family, everybody have worked too hard to get to where we are now. And I tell Audrey this all the time. I said, I can't believe, we're in 2025 and we're still arguing and talking about this stuff that's like, why are we talking about this?
Hundreds of years old.
Where you have
centuries old.
Smart people that have written books, and just that is, it's mind boggling. It is true. It is truly mind boggling that this is such a huge issue now, that people are still fixated on skin color. Yeah. Because I can tell you that when you open somebody up, we all look the same. We all look the same. I can tell you that. It's no difference in the colors of your blood and your different your organs and things like that. But people are so fixated on a skin color and this color is bad or this color is good. I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah. It makes no sense instead of dealing with the person. And that's, and that's what I thought was one thing about being in the military, is we dealt with the person and not the skin color. People were getting mattered. Yeah, people were getting promoted. People were in positions because of what their skill set was, and not because they're black or they're white. And it wasn't a DEI or anything like DEI helped get us some more
move us towards equality.
Yeah, help get us some more really good leaders. Opportunities that might not have had the opportunity before, because people were fixated on a gender or a skin color or a race or whatever. So it's.
And another question. Well, I'm not. DEI is another thing that's going to fire me up. So how do someone balance staying true to their beliefs without pushing people away? I think the first thing you have to do is what you believe in has to be based in reality and logic. I believe that. And I would say, look inside of yourself and just verify that the stuff that you are so willing to argue for and some die for,
or lay down on your sword.
Make sure that it's based in reality and logic. The first thing. Yep. the second thing is you have to be receptive to other people's way of thinking. And that just means you have to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, even in religion, your religion is some different than somebody else, then just say your piece and then listen. Yep. If they do not accept what you're saying, why are you arguing with them?
You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to push your religion on anybody.
Or anything.
You shouldn't put it. Yeah, on
you shouldn't have to push anything on anybody. So that would be the way I would say for people to handle it, because people have strong opinions now on everything, and that's not an accident, right? That's something that we meaning our country specifically and the world's been pushing for this whole time. You know, they want people to voice their opinions so that people can hear their opinions, right? And it's okay if a Trump-like person wants to run for politics. I don't care about that. But what I do care about is making sure that he or she really cares about the country they're trying to run.
The whole country.
Everybody I'll never understand this, but how can the person that wants to be president make money off selling shoes, selling a gold coin, selling hats, selling now a phone? And how can you possibly think that he cares about what's best for the country versus himself and his friends? And I'm just pointing that out because I'm just saying this. What I'm saying is based in logic and based in reality, because no other president would be allowed to do that before him. Just
if any other president did that, I mean, they would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe." I mean, they would be. Yeah. So, so Tommy.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone who's struggling to stay close with a friend who votes very differently?
The easiest answer to all these questions is communication.
Yep. That's made me talk to him. Sit down and have a conversation with him. Yeah, sit down and talk to somebody.
And if I really believe this, if you're friends, you're willing to have a back and forth. Mm-hmm. It could get heated. It could be calm. Hey, men can cry. There could be tears there.
But the thing is, like, you've had that before. You know,
yeah.
I mean, but I've had that before with folks, and it was like, okay, you know, and we were fine. We were cool with it. Again, it's just that what's going on now is, I mean, it is just, again, such mean and nasty and not truthful, fact-based. I mean, what's going on now is just like, no, you're not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah. We're not doing it because we can debate on the employment, the economics, I mean, those are things that we can talk about that make sense. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about putting somebody else down, putting a race down or putting folks down or a gender down, limiting what people can do and telling me what I can or can't do with my body. Yeah. That's the type of stuff where it's like, okay, what are we doing now? Because we had this conversation 50 years ago. Yeah. We fought and took care of this 50 years ago. Yeah. So why are we bringing this up again? What's making this come up again?
What's the real answer?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like he was saying, if you can't give the real answer, then there's a problem there, right? The advice I would give is if you consider them a friend, try to have a conversation with them.
Yep.
If they are not willing to have a conversation with you, or if they are not willing to hear your side, and then you two can't find some balance there, like you said, our whole lives have been Republican and Democrat. That our whole lives has been that. Mm-hmm. And we've somehow been able to get through this because there was always a consideration of the other person.
Yep.
There was always, well, that's your opinion. The famous line, we agree to disagree, right? Let's move on. That's always been there. But now, in my lifetime, the racial implementations of both parties have never been so defined to me. And the fact that it's not only clearly defined, is it's obvious in it.
Yep.
And you're still willing to support that, then it's going to be hard to have a relationship with somebody who's standing 10 toes down against bringing everybody together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So do I believe that there are some things that go too far? I absolutely believe that. I think people are very more sensitive now. But you have to ask the question, why is that a thing?
Why? Yeah, especially, yeah.
How
why?
did that become a thing? It's because 40 years ago, a white person could stand on stage and tell a horrible black joke, and people would just laugh, and nobody would critique that person. And nobody black could stand up and say, hold up now. I don't mind you telling racial jokes, but if you're going to compare me to a whatever, or you're going to say something, whatever, about my ancestors, my family, you're just going to completely degrade who I am as a person, I can see why that would be sensitive. The same way with women and jokes on women. Mm-hmm. I can see why somebody would be sensitive when you're telling somebody that their mom's a prostitute, or you're saying that you as a person don't matter because you don't have a voice. I can see why that would be sensitive, right?
Yep.
So that's where I'm talking about in the reality of and logic. You have to understand that. Now, if you have a stub toe and somebody who's had a stub toe makes a joke about a stub toe,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
you can get sensitive because your toe hurt. But that's not something you, like you said before, fall on your sword for.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, it's something that we learned and followed, and much. You have to have a standard. Yeah, you can't have a double standard for folks. It can't be okay for one group to say this or be like this, and another group not to not expect the other group to react the same way, or if the other group to act the same way, but to chastise and try to beat that group down. So we have to have a standard, and people just have to you have to follow it. I mean, so if it's wrong, if it was wrong for Ron, it's gonna be wrong for it's wrong for John to do it. You can't say that. Well, can't give excuses and things like that. So,
and this is my counter to anybody that wants to say, well, you said that everything evolves and our Constitution is so many years old. And my response to that would be, you're absolutely right. It should evolve. But it should evolve with the population.
Mm-hmm.
It
with
shouldn't,
with
the times,
what's going on,
with the changes, with the evolution of everything. Mm-hmm. It has to change for the people. It starts off with we the, right? People.
Yep.
That was corny, wasn't it? I should have said we the people. But anyway.
We the. That's it.
But yeah, but that's my closure on that one, because we're at a point now where people just want to argue.
Yeah.
They don't really want to hear your side.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, politics are personal and have always been personal. But nowadays, people are becoming more and more disrespectful towards each other.
That's the problem.
So the question is, Lance, are politics revealing who we truly are, or do you think this is a moment?
I think, well, it's the moment now, and I think it is revealing who some folks truly are. Agreed. I mean, because again, I mean, if you are that deep in it and you are that blinded to some of the stuff that's going on, where it's making you not a decent person. I'm not even gonna say a decent person. Yeah. You know, where you're seeing one group of folks better than another group, or trying to hold another group down, or you're going and feel like it's okay to go and try to take somebody's life because they feel, you know, one way. Yeah. So, but
yeah,
we've got to stop letting elections cost us lifelong friendships.
Agreed.
So the only way you can maintain friendships nowadays is if both friends can talk and work through their differences.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's the big thing is you have to be able to sit down and talk. You have to be willing to sit down and talk and listen, truly listen, you know, to the other person's side, and still be able to go, okay, yep, that's a real,
different,
you know, political,
but I value you,
but
because you're my friend.
Yes, but not some of the, again, blatant racist. I mean, that's not even a conversation to have. I mean, that's like, that's not even a conversation to have, folks.
But I will say this, and this is something that I'm actually practicing right now. If you've been holding back from checking on a friend, I'm talking about a real friend that was your brother or your sister or family, right? If you've been holding back on checking on them over political stuff, hey, maybe today's the day to break the ice. But if you can't get over it, we can understand that as well. Because I have absolutely ended some relationships where I don't even want to have the conversation because some of those posts were just like, it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Just blew me away. And they know me. That's the thing.
Yep.
You know, if you know a black person, if you know a white person, if you know any race person, and you consider them a good person, good people, and you consider them someone that you trust and believe in and support and would be there for, how can you still go around and hate their race? I don't understand that. You know, but we understand if you can't get over that, because nowadays the politics, the divide is larger than ever.
Yep. Hey guys, share this episode with that friend and see if there's still a good person in there.
And follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at 4 Titles, 1 Truth.
And as always, rate us, leave us a review. And Tommy, how'd you take this?
And let's keep the conversation going.
Let's keep the conversation going, y'all. All right.
All right.
Have a good one.